Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for that. AC Villa, we stand with you. Hopefully everything turns out, great. Now on the AFCON group analysis, it's now official. I think we know who we're going to face at AFCON.
Yes, we've known for some time.
Yeah.
Uganda is in Group C. We know the teams that we're going to be playing against here in Kampala. So you're going to have, obviously, Uganda is in that group. It's quite a tough group because there's South Africa, there's Algeria, there's Niger, and then there's Guinea.
So which team in our group should actually worry us the most, to be honest?
Maybe you should rephrase that. Which teams in our
Which
group?
teams?
Yeah,
Wow, guys. It's not even one.
Yeah, you have
It's
Algeria.
really
Algeria
South Africa.
are one of the aristocrats of African football.
Yeah.
And even South Africa, because the South African team which came here and cleaned us at Nambole last year, the bulk of that team will actually be competing in Chan because the majority of South Africa's team are home-based players. Guys who are playing in Mamelodi Sundowns, Orlando Pirates, and Kaizer Chiefs. So South Africa are going to have a strong Chan team, obviously. And then Guinea will always be Guinea because of their physicality, and of course they've also got a decent pedigree in African football. I think the paperweights have got to be Niger, a team Uganda Cranes have beaten before here, a team Uganda Cranes can compete with. There will not be a pushover. There's no pushover at this level.
Yes.
But that's a team you think Uganda can take care of business against before a full capacity Mandela National Stadium at Nambole. I remember this tournament, by the way, is just over 5 weeks away from now.
And that's close.
It's quite close.
Yes.
Paul Put did release his team, which has got a bit of Chan experience, and then there's a bit of youth in the team. So I think it's close to the very best team he could have put out there. Certainly the provisional squad, because you've got players who shone in the league last season. You've got Paul Muchurezi, who had a decent season for NEC. He's been called to the fold. You have Yunus Sentango, who was back in the fold. For Cranes, I think he's deservedly earned his spot in the national team. Of course, you have, like we said, Alan Okello, you have Abdukarim Mwatambala, you have Rogers Torach, the guys who did a good job for Vipers en route to their double winning season. You've got Milton Karisa, who is part of the team. And then you have, again, a team. I mean, you've got players who've some competed at the national senior team. You've got Sejigenda, the Sevilla guy who's still unattached. If the speculation does suggest that he's being linked to a move in Kigali, of course, if he signs elsewhere, he'll be ineligible to play for Chan, because Chan is a tournament which is played by predominantly the home-based players. So all the players must be playing in their country. So the guys who will be competing for South Africa, for Niger, for Guinea, for Algeria, are playing in their domestic leagues. So if you have any Ugandan who's playing out of Uganda, he or she, or rather he, cannot compete in the Chan team. So in this case, Khalid Aucho cannot compete. And those are the rules of the competition.
Yeah.
So I think Uganda, remember, have never made it beyond the group stages of Chan. The closest we came, we've had some close shaves. The closest we came was in 2014 at the Chan tournament, also in South Africa, when we opened strongly with a victory against Burkina Faso. Yunus Sentamu scored both goals. He's back in the team. Okay. Unfortunately, we failed to make it. I think we were beaten by Morocco. And I don't remember who we competed against in that group, but we failed to make it. And since then, we've qualified for all the Chans, all but one, of all the Chan editions from the time when it started in 2009.
Which was?
That was, I think, the edition hosted in, I think, either Sudan or Ivory Coast. I think Sudan. And that was under the reign of Lawrence Mulindwa. The coach at the time was Bobo Williamson. And I was looking through the squad which competed in that Chan. And we had guys like Derek Waludia and guys who have since retired. I mean, that's the length of time between our first Chan edition to the current one. That's 16 years ago. So we hope that with our formidable home ground, with the packed Nambole, and with the weight of the nation support behind the team, we can rally them. I've liked how Paul has approached matches. He tends to be adventurous. He tends to be attack-minded. But listen, this is a difficult group. There's no easy group in China. I was scanning through all the groups. The one which Kenya has, the one which Tanzania
They're
all tough grounds, but this is a group where you have one of Southern Africa's strongest teams, if not the strongest team in Southern Africa, in South Africa. The Bafana boys who love to play the game. They love to hog the position. They love to pass around the ball with finesse and style. And that's what they did expertly at Nambole when they opened us up in that 2-0 victory. And then you have a Guinea side.
Yeah.
We know traditionally we know West African sides to have a combination of individual brilliance, but they've also got physicality. And like I said, Guinea, a team which have got the pedigree in African football. They belong to the second tier of continental football. If you ask me, so they're not a team which you're going to run over. And while they don't have the kind of name that say Ghana or Nigeria have, they've got some decent players, and they've got a formidable league which has actually attracted some Ugandan players, including in recent times. Robert Odonkara was playing for Horoya in their league, and Horoya were doing very well in the CAF Champions League. So they are going to be a team which is obviously which won't be short on talent. And then of course we know what Algeria is all about. They came and they beat us at Nambole again last year in the World Cup qualifiers. Obviously that was the senior side, which had players from Marseille and Juventus and whatever. But that national team of the Desert Warriors, their senior side, which came and took care of Cranes at Nambole, is an extension. We saw of the culture that the Algerians are blessed with. These are guys who they're very, very crafty. They have neat passing. They'll punish your mistakes, and they're excellent on the counter-attack. They're not the kind of team which is going to thrive with set plays because they don't have that physical endowment.
Yeah.
But they're very, very good on the ball, very, very excellent on the counter-attack, and they'll punish you. So this is the kind of group which is going to stretch the Uganda Cranes, and it will be very, very important to win the opening game. As with every tournament competition, the first game sets the tempo for your chances of advancement. When you win your first game, you more or less have that 1 foot into the next round. If you lose the first game, it becomes a bit of a challenge because you have self-doubt creeping in, and then the coach must now ring the changes to react. And along the way, I mean, it becomes a tall order for any team every time you lose your first game. So if you're Uganda, you win your first game, you can be sure that you're going to get more numbers in the stadium, you're going to get more belief from the 12th man who will be in the terraces, and it will be very, very important for the Uganda Cranes to get the entire terraces behind the team, because you know what an impact, a fully packed Nambole can mean to our players. They give you that extra push, and the energy does come and permeate through every sinew of the energy of the 12 players and the substitutes on the pitch. So again, history is in the making. Uganda is hosting Chan together with the other two East African sisters, Tanzania and Kenya, and please be part of history at Nambole. Remember, Chan is a dry run to the 2027 edition, which will be the first time East Africa hosts the Africa Cup of Nations.
Well, by the way, personally, I feel like the FOMO, is catching up with me, and I hope that everyone, especially all the Ugandans, become part of it. I don't know what the media is doing, but we need to feel the noise and the heat coming up.